Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model Daily Review for Friday the 9th of the 7th 2021. Time is 0440 GMT, Asian session coming to a close, European session firing up, our lunchtime North American session. Right, yesterday, Thursday the 8th then, we had a positive opposed driver in the yen at plus 310, front and backdoor flows mainly coming out the pound at minus 219, out the dollar at minus 139, and the euro was the positive rock at plus 48, and that was an activity of plus or minus 358. Intra-week then, this is the most relevant because it's from Monday open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a positive unopposed driver in the yen at plus 361, no backdoor flows, the opposing negative flows mainly coming out the pound at minus 244, out the euro at minus 60, and out the dollar at minus 17, which is the negative rock. Activity plus or minus 361. So over the week then we've had the yen strength driving to the exclusion of all else really, and the bulk of those flows have been coming out the pound. So you've been having yen strength and pound weakness with a fairly static soft euro and soft dollar. It may not have felt like that, but that's what's been happening. Intra-week then, this is Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've now got we've got a swing, we've got an unopposed positive negative driver in the yen, minus 54, no backdoor flows. The opposing positive flows mainly going into the dollar plus 41, into the euro plus 9, and the pound is the positive rock at plus 4, activity plus or minus 54. Bear in mind that swing though is on relatively very short moves in the Asian session. Right, what's been going on, what's been going to knock this about? We've had China CPIs, which are soft. They've been active in the market trying to depress commodity prices, but anyway, that's a separate issue. Today we've got Tier 2 GBP industrial production, Tier 2 GBP GDP, ECB President Lagarde's speech, and we've got CAD unemployment rate and employment change. So it's lightish. Right, so let's look at the asset classes. Our trades have come back quite a bit, so we're about 2,000, what are we? 2,600 points up now, from a peak of 6,500, and we actually went negative for a while this week, just because of the swings. Right, so let's have a look then. What do we got? We got euro strong, except against the dollar. CAD and the Swiss, which are stronger. The yen is weak, except against the AUD, and the NZD, which are weaker. The pound is strong, except against the euro, the dollar, and the Swiss. The Swiss is strong, except against the dollar. CAD is strong, except against the Swiss, the dollar and the pound. The AUD is weak, except against the NZD. The NZD is weak across the board, and the dollar is strong across the board. Right, so we've got NZD weakness, dollar strength, and take your pick in the middle. Right, so let's have a look at the asset classes. If you look at the weekly activity in terms of the flows, what was it? It was 361 plus or minus 361, relatively low, compressed, because a strong weekly activity would be over 1,000. So anyway, US dollar index. What are we looking at? Sort of this sort of thing. It broke and it's come back to the resistance point. It's high, but it's come back. So it's thinking about it. Gold. Gold's got this sort of look. It's 0.45 from the high. Soft, but come up a little bit. Oil broke. It's come back and it's thinking about going up again. It's 0.4 from the high. Wall Street. Wall Street's got this sort of dirge look about it. It's 0.35 from the high. S&P, basically it broke, it's come back, it's 0.20 from the high. It's come off a bit. Tech broke again and it's 0.125 from the high. So the S&P and tech have had this big break and they've just come back slightly, and Wall Street is still trying to get up to its high. US 10-year got this sort of look to it. It broke in terms of price, which means yields came off. It's now come back a bit. It's 0.20 from the high, and the Bund, which is the European equivalence, it's around there. So the Bund basically was chasing low yields as well, and they've both come off a bit, which means the yields are slightly strengthened in both the US and the Bund. But the US is in model terms is weaker than the euro end of it, so you should get a little bit of a drag up on the euro dollar, even though the euro dollar has been quite soft. Right, what we've got now, copper. Right, well, copper's been looking like a dodgy speedo in an old car. When you go over a speed ramp, it's been just bouncing all over the place. And it's now 0.40 from the floor, and US steel is basically soft as well. It's 0.25 from the floor. So that's where we are as an overview. Let's just get rid of this and do the final analysis then. So, right, what have we got? Sort of on the data front, we've got a little bit of GBP data. We've got the usual speeches from the Garden, all that shower, and anyway, let's have a look. So we've got we're short USD, dollar against euro, pound, AUD, and we're short NZD against euro, pound, CAD, AUD. Right, and we're about plus sort of approximately 2,600 points profit from a peak of 6.5 thousand and a swing probably of plus or minus roughly 7.5k. So quite lively, but then we are running some quite large positions. So anyway, no stops as usual. Right, so what do we think is going to happen then? Right, well you've got this weekly situation where the yen's been the unopposed positive driver. Yes, at 361, and you've got a bit in the Asian session. It's starting to look a bit softer. The market is running scared all the time. It's Friday, so who knows? But basically, the chances are you're going to see a pump back up in risk assets. The yen's likely to come off a little bit, but then in the North American session, they're likely to run for the hills again. So you're likely to see a strengthening in equities, and then possibly a sell-off at the final bell. So that's what's happening. We're just going to stick with our positions. We're looking to, as we say, add to AUD, NZD. The NZD analysts are all over the NZD at the moment, which is relatively good news, because they'll be building incorrect positions on shorting the AUD. Anyway, that's where we are. Hope that was useful. We'll look out for the data review and flow review videos over the weekend. If not, see you Monday for the daily review. Thank you very much.